I'm Jeremy Crawford. I'm the principal rules designer of Dungeons & Dragons at Wizards of the Coast. My favorite characters that I've played there are three, and I tend to kind of rotate among them. One, I love playing a curmudgeonly old wizard whose name has changed at various times over the years, but it's almost always actually the same character, normally known as Cornelius the Sage, appropriate since I write sage advice. I also love playing different versions of a very caring, compassionate healer of some kind. Usually that character is a cleric, but sometimes a druid or a paladin. And then I have my third character, and again, the names change, but it's almost always three characters. My third character is usually this primo instigator who just runs through doors, sometimes literally crashing through them. And that character is most often a barbarian, but sometimes a fighter or even a rogue. I like the rare times when I play a rogue, I like playing sort of against type of the rogue who, rather than avoiding trouble, actually dives headfirst into it. So when it comes to game mechanics, my sort of sagely character, who, again, the class changes, often wizard, I love the play of choosing the spells I'm going to use and having a very sort of strategic approach to the adventuring day ahead of me, and being very, trying to predict what's going to happen in the coming day and pick just the right spells that will help solve the unusual problems that often pop up in a D&D adventure. When it comes to the mechanics that I enjoy with my more sort of priestly character, who's often a cleric or a druid or a paladin, there I love the mechanics that allow me to interact with other player characters in helpful ways. Not just healing, but defensive abilities, things that actually help other people shine. Because sometimes the mood I'm in as a player is I want to be here and be the person that lifts up the whole group. And I love the mechanics in those classes that do exactly that, including at their most basic, just healing, because healing is about making it so everyone else can keep going and doing the heroism that they're doing. And then the mechanics that I enjoy when I'm playing sort of a more martial instigator style of character is I really like the straightforward gusto of I'm going to get into trouble, I'm going to survive this trouble, and I am going to mix it up in melee or at range with a bow and deal a bunch of damage. So usually that's the character type mechanically I go to it, because it's like I just want to throw down. And so each of those to me has a nice mechanical distinctiveness that is connected also again to difference in story and difference in mood. So I have so many, like I'm sure many of us do who play D&D, many moments where I look back and it was like, oh, that was just such an amazing moment. What's interesting is often my favorite moments are when other people shine. Now, part of that is because I spend so much time as a DM. And so one of my biggest, sort of points of bliss when I'm playing D&D, whether I'm the DM or a player, is I love it when everyone else is awesome. So I sometimes actually have to struggle to remember, well, what did my character do that was sort of, the clutch moment? Usually it's, me figuring out a way to diffuse a situation with a particular NPC or monster. I love having my characters, especially if I'm playing the sort of wizardly or more cleric type character. I love talking our way out of trouble or befriending a creature or a person that maybe you'd think was not befriendable, but then it turns out you can turn them into a friend. But I do have also one much more sort of crunchy moment that I can point at that comes from the D&D Next playtest. And when we were testing out 5th edition and its earliest versions, I had this high-level wizard that I was playing in one of our internal playtest games at Wizards of the Coast. And we were playing through a redo of the old Giant series from 1st edition. And we were in the Hill Giants home base. And we had one of those moments where the bugbears and others in the lower level had lined themselves up perfectly in this hallway, where I was able to lay down a stinking cloud. A cloud kill that just round after round felled one foe after another. And probably is one of the most broken things that a character of mine has ever done, just in the sheer amount of damage that one wizard did. And it was one of those moments because just the configuration of the encounter, the layout of the dungeon, where the DM had placed all of the creatures, just all of the planets aligned so that that cloud kill just swept many, many, many of them away.